Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Good afternoon. Hope your day is going great. Happy Canada Day if you celebrate in Canada, if you're from the US, and I hope you enjoy your Independence Day. As you know, I'm Tomas Patterson here with Boss Financial, and I'm bringing you some real words of wisdom with today's video. This is already my 10th video. Okay, that's kind of a big deal for me. I just recently started, but I've been taking YouTube seriously and being consistent here. Today we're going to cover the top 3 credit card no-nos. Okay, these are the things that you should never ever even consider about doing if you own a credit card. But more importantly, if you're just tuning into my channel for the first time today, just know that I'm posting regular videos related to topics such as personal finance, wealth building, debt management, investing, the stock market, you name it, pretty much anything related to a dollar. So if you enjoy this type of consistent content, then go ahead and smash the subscribe button for me. Join the financial family and even hit the bell icon if you want to stay updated and notified with my future posts. If you enjoy this video, then give me a thumbs up. It really helps me on my YouTube journey here and trying to grow my channel. I do appreciate it. So with that out of the way, here are the top things or acts that I consider forbidden in my mind, okay? I would never think to do these things, and you shouldn't either, okay? And for the following reasons. Whether you own a Visa, a MasterCard, American Express, whatever credit card, it doesn't matter. The top of the list, okay, of things you should never do is a cash advance. Like, guys, I mean it, okay? If you're not aware, credit cards obviously allow you to make purchases in that sort of fashion, but there's also a way you can draw cash directly from your credit card, and the amount you pull out, it just gets applied to your credit balance. And you could do this through an ATM, things like that, or even in the branch of a bank. Now, many people might get excited by this, okay? It's a quick, easy way to get cash, pull it from out of nowhere, right? But let me tell you, this is a terrible idea, just a bad idea. And even in a pinch, this should just be used as your absolute last resort to get cash. The reason why this is such a poor idea is because there's a significantly higher interest rate that these credit card companies charge you for doing a cash advance. These can be as high as like 25%. So as you should be well aware if you've been watching my videos, then a normal credit card percentage, that interest rate is terrible by itself. So that could be anywhere from like 16 to 20%. And paying that on borrowed money, guys, is just a wealth destroyer, and cash advance is way worse. So that's why you should never be carrying a balance on a credit card. My most utilized credit card is my TD Rewards card. It's absolutely nothing special, but for purchases, the interest rate is 20%, and cash advances, the interest rate is 23%. But it doesn't end there, okay, guys? Cash advances aren't treated like your normal credit card purchases when it comes to calculating your interest. Unlike normal purchases, there's no 30-day grace period with a cash advance where you don't have to pay this interest. When you take out cash on your credit card with a cash advance, you're actually going to start being charged interest immediately on the day you took it out. You're going to pay interest on the amount you took out until it's paid back. So that's why I don't even recommend cash advances in a pinch, okay? Let me tell you, I work at a credit union, and people all the time are coming in looking to do a cash advance or asking about it, and they say they're just going to put the money back later, but it's like, why, guys? It's 25% interest. What is so important that you're ready to start paying 25% interest on your cash immediately? It really just comes down to the fact that you should have better planning and you should have better budgeting, so it never comes to this, okay? Because you're going to end up losing some money real quick. So you might be wondering, well, why is the interest rate so high for cash? Well, you got to think about it like this, okay? When you are getting this cash from your credit card, there's no reasoning why you're taking this cash out. So you, in theory, could just be a drug dealer that's taking this cash out to go buy drugs and then sell it, right? Compared to where you go into any financial institution like a bank and you're applying for anything like a loan, a line of credit, anything like that, they're going to ask for the reason why you're getting this money. And if you don't provide them with the reason, then you're going to get declined. It's because these credit cards have no idea what you're using the money for that the rate is higher, because there's an increased risk with them loaning out their cash. And that's why I always recommend, if you need cash, first you should start with obvious places you can get cash, okay? So that's an ATM or your bank or under your mattress, okay? Wherever you got your cash, look there first. Don't just think that a credit card in a pinch is a good idea to get cash. Secondly, if you have to borrow for your money, okay, then you should always consider cheaper forms of lending, okay? So for example, you go and apply for a personal loan, a line of credit, even a small overdraft protection, okay, which is like a small line of credit on your bank account. These things are all guaranteed. They're going to be cheaper than 25%, okay? So if your credit score isn't tarnished, then you should think about applying for something like that. And guys and gals, I'm not done there, okay? If those weren't enough reasons to not do a cash advance, then on top of not having a grace period, on top of having this increased interest rate, there are also fees associated with taking a cash advance. A credit card company has the power to charge extra for cash advances, so you could be paying things like a fixed rate, which could be a flat fee there, or you could have a percentage, so say like a 2% of whatever amount you take out. But then there's both, so someone could have a $5 fee as well as a 2% on the remaining amount you take out. Typically, this fee is going to be the larger of $10 or 5%, but once again, these fees don't even cover additional ATM fees or additional ATM cash advance fees that can be charged on top of this. So at the end of the day, guys, if I just haven't made things clear enough for you, outlined in a golden hue, okay, just don't do a cash advance. Simple. Next up, guys, number 2 on the list of things you should never ever do with a credit card is to miss or skip payments. This is a very crucial one here, okay? And there's a lot of important factors that play into this. So if you don't want to make a mistake, then pay attention here. One of the most important reasons to have a credit card is, yes, obviously to help with your purchases, help smooth out your spending habits. But on top of this, it's also a major driver for your credit score. If you're unfamiliar with this subject, I actually just posted a video about credit score, so I'll post a link for that in the description below. In that video, we go over things like what is a credit score, why is your credit score important, what goes into determining your credit score, and things like how to help improve your credit score. But one of the more important things we talked about is the fact that payment history has a very large weight on your credit score. In fact, it's 35% of your credit score is payment history. So that's more than 1/3 of your credit score is determined based on how on time and consistently you make your payments. If you don't make your payments, if you're late on payments, then this is going to have a negative impact on your credit score because it shows that you might not be able to pay debts, and this is all based off previous behavior. The more you miss and the more you pay late, the worse it's going to be when you're trying to apply for things like a mortgage for your house, a loan for your car, a personal line of credit. Bottom line, it just reflects poorly on you. And on top of this, I love this fact, okay, because so many people just aren't aware of this. Did you know that one missed payment stays on your credit report for the next 2 years? Trust me, a few years ago in university, I was living that student life and I could only put on my card, what I could afford to and also when I could afford to. So trust me, my score isn't bad today, but let me tell you, I'm still feeling the negative effects of having those few missed payments back in the day, and I would definitely have a better score if I would have been more wiser financially. But hey, that's all part of the journey, and if anything, I'm just happy that I'm able to share that with you guys to help you out, add some value to you, and maybe you can make some changes for the better. So that's why it's always important to make on-time payments, even if it's just the minimum. If you're finding it hard to stay organized or to stay punctual, then you might actually benefit from a pre-authorized debit. This is set up through your credit card company or your bank, and basically it takes it from your bank account and automatically makes a payment to your credit card every statement. So you have 2 options. It could be either the minimum payment due, or you could pay the full balance, and it's your choice. This also will help if you're going on a long trip or a vacation and you're just not physically going to be able to make on-time payments. Now, in addition to your credit history, your credit score getting tarnished from having missed payments, late payments, you're also going to have penalties from the credit card companies. You will likely be charged a late payment fee for every month that your payment's late, and on top of this, you're probably going to have your interest rate increased. This is for 2 obvious reasons, okay? 1, to punish you and to make you not do it again, but most importantly, number 2, this is for the banks and the credit card companies to make more money. For example, my TD Rewards card says in the terms and conditions, if the minimum payment isn't received within 30 days, then the annual interest rate is going to go up 5%, okay? So it's normally 20. That means that the interest rate is going to be jacked up to 25%, and that's actually worse than my cash advance rate on that card, which is 23%. So you can imagine if you have late payments on a cash advance, then you're paying like 28 to 30% interest on that, guys, which is just brutal. And it also, on top of this, says that you're going to lose any promotional rate that you might have had. So for example, if you had a promotion where you transferred your balance onto a card for 0% interest, say for 6 months or something like that, well, that's now voided, and this 0% gets jacked back up to the 20. So in the end, yes, a credit card, it's a good tool to have and to use to help build your credit score, but that's if it's used properly, okay? And that means you're making on-time and consistent payments no matter what. Okay, last but definitely not least, everyone, something you never want to do with your credit card is go over limit. If you go over your credit limit, then you're going to be charged an over limit fee, okay? And this is going to be charged every month that you are over limit, and this is typically like $25 to $30. That's a little chunk of change that you're going to have to dish out, and it can even add to your compounding debt snowball. Okay, so this is why you should always be paying your balance off in full and buying things you know that you have the cash for. When you just start using your credit card everywhere for everything, even if you have good intentions, this is going to end up being overpowered by the inner spender in you, okay? Because you have access to money that you don't own, and this is just going to drive you further and further into debt. This is another reason why I also just can't stand when I see people going on shopping sprees with their rewards credit cards, with the points, because even if you're getting 1%, 2% cash back, however many points, double on gas, double fast food, it doesn't matter if you're spending money you don't have, if you're carrying a balance and you're not paying this off. This is how the credit card companies, cast their line and hook your money, because they're preying on our weaknesses as humans, okay? And that's to spend. But it doesn't matter for these rewards, because if you're paying 20% interest, these rewards get devoured anyways. It's pointless. So that's like taking $18 out of your bank account just to put a toonie back in your savings. It doesn't make any sense. You're playing yourself. So really, if you're having a problem with overspending, going over your credit limit, you could always call your bank or your credit card provider and ask them to reduce your limit, okay? So that way you don't have the incentive to spend it because you don't even have it available. This isn't recommended though, because when you reduce your credit limit, you're actually increasing the amount of credit utilization you're using, and this has a bad impact on your credit score. So ideally, you just want to have better financial habits, work on that, as well as have some self-discipline when it comes to your spending. Now, after you get this under control, whether you believe so or not, the smart move is actually to go and increase your credit limit. You can do this just by calling in or contacting them. And like we talked about before, what this is going to do is it's going to increase your total credit limit, which reduces the amount of credit you're currently using, which this in turn is better for your credit score. Because like I've mentioned before in my credit score video, credit utilization has a 30% weight on your credit score. And it's for this reason that you should never be maxing out your credit cards, okay? It's actually been proven that 35% of your credit utilization is the best for your credit score. So that obviously doesn't mean you need to carry a balance at 35%. You just shouldn't go over it. For example, if all you have is a credit limit on your credit card for $1,000, then you should be trying to stay at or below $350 balance. And there you have it, the top 3 things that you should never do with your credit card. That's if you want to save money both now and down the line, as well as keep your credit score intact. I really hope you took some valid takeaways home from this video, because this stuff is it's really important. It really does matter. And it's going to have an impact on your life as you find your way through your financial journey. So it's just better to know these things before you make mistakes if possible. If you enjoyed this video, just beat the crap out of that like button, okay? Go ahead, smash the subscribe button, and also hit the notifications bell if you want to stay updated with my future posts. Share this video with someone you think might benefit from the knowledge in this video. Share that around because it really could help someone. Post any questions or comments down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Boss Financial Channel. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for watching. Stay positive and see you next time.